Just give us a while and we will all see our positions. Right, team ready?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Right, ready, let's go. We often take food for granted. We know the financial and environmental costs to put that food on the table. I am Cheah, CEO of Smart Harvest. Today, my team and I will take you on a journey behind the scenes of mankind's most basic necessity, food. Meet Jack, a typical Australian farmer. He's a less talk, more action kind of guy and works 14 hours from sunrise to sunset. And he faced some real challenges: drought, flood, bushfire, hail. And if that's not enough, COVID and severe labor shortage. Jack has little time to think about things beyond the daily operation of the farms. He's not very updated with the latest innovations, and he generally doesn't trust people from sales, government, or academia. And one of the biggest decisions Jack makes every day and every season is what to grow, how much to produce. And with the lack of information from the markets, very often he can only gamble, grow something, anything, and hope that he will get a good price for it. That causes a severe imbalance in bargaining power, making him a price taker. The market price fluctuates severely with oversupply and undersupply, and excess produce is dumped in landfills rot. So, to recap the major problems, farmers have no time to analyze complex demand and supply dynamics. They oversupply or undersupply, causing market price volatility, and are never sure if their investments are able to return a profit. Finally, there's lots of food waste and unnecessary use of agricultural input resources, making farming operations financially and environmentally unsustainable. So, what do we do about this? I'll let James, our tech expert, show you.
Smart Harvest app provides a simple solution to help farmers focus strategic information and make sustainable business decisions. We build and deploy our app on the #1 cloud provider in the world, Amazon Web Services. Our app has 4 main features. First, supply and demand forecasting. Using weather data, satellites, and drone images and information from agriculture suppliers, we will be able to forecast food production and supply. Then, using historical sales report and real-time information from the government, we can forecast demand. Using AI to analyze those data, we will be able to provide a prediction for farm on what and how much to grow. Second, using smart IoT sensors and AI, we can create alerts and reports that help farmers make better decisions to manage the farm, using such as like when to apply irrigation or fertilizers to reduce resource usage, improve efficiency, and save costs. Third, using AI to analyze the data collected from various sources, we can generate reports on the productivity of farmlands, therefore helping farmers access the value of the farm before leasing or buying them. Fourth, IoT sensor and blockchain make it possible to track products through supply chains in real time. Thus, companies can better ensure the quality of the food arriving at the markets. Once again, Smart Harvest, a smart product that is simple, strategic, and sustainable.
Yes, a simple, strategic, and sustainable agri-tech solution. But do people really need us? I'm Xiang, the COO. It's time for an effective proof of concept project. So we spoke to our first target market, the Queensland farmers. We showed our startup concept to an assistant minister and some industry people representatives. Then we know our market. We know what they want. We know Queensland agriculture is going through a digital transformation period. They need us. Smart Harvest can help farmers reduce food waste, save operational costs, mitigate farming risk, boost the digital agriculture trend for Queensland. Yes, we are on the right track. After the interviews, we got valuable inputs from our stakeholders. We evaluate our solution and execute the optimal option, which can maximize farm benefits and drive more return for our investors. Considering the appraisal of strategy, sustainability, desirability, and outcome, Smart Harvest agri-tech system will achieve forecasting, optimization, traceability, valuation benefits for farms. You may ask, There are so many digital farming startups. Why smart harvest? How can you achieve these positive returns? According to McKinsey report, we know there have 3 success factors. Attention from the top team, clear strategy for value creation, and a serious resource investment. Learning from history, we aim to achieve commitment and adequate preparation in all 3 aspects from our target client in the POC phase. This maximizes our chance of success and prevent a technology head only to fall flat on its face due to disappointing returns. This is our milestone timeline. After we get the GBC funding, we will develop our prototype in next 6 months. Then we will launch a 6-month trial testing at a Queensland farm, gather our first client feedbacks, enhance our app performance, present our POC report to our investors to raise more funding. Once we get investment support, we can step into our pilot project. We will launch into 5-month project in Tasmania, then 4-month project in Victoria, and finally a 3-month project in New South Wales. Each time, learning from our clients' input and improving our app. After 24 months of experience, we are ready to launch our global business. Smart Harvest meets the UN SDGs by creating employment opportunities for high-skilled workers, contribute to cost saving, waste avoidance, and carbon footprint reduction for the agriculture industry worldwide. We also commit to driving an attractive return for our investors. Now, Lucy, our CFO.
Let's start with some key assumptions for our POC stage. We will complete this stage in 12 months. There is no return as we will not charging our farmers. We will have funding of 300K from GBC and Queensland. Based on these assumptions, we have prepared a detailed budget. We will invest in creating our MPV, including app development, purchase of John's equipment, setting up yield report system, and data purchase from the agri-input suppliers. We will also seek advice from data scientists and land valuation specialists. Next is the 12-month pilot. Again, there is no revenue, as we will not charging our farmers. We will have a combined funding of 500,000K from Xiang Ventures and the Commonwealth government. Now, we have more money, hoping $500,000. This means we could fully develop our smart solutions, leveraging our success in the POC. We will deliver many benefits in a number of ways. Cost saving. With our smart solution, farmers will be able to choose the right crop and plan their production to match demand. This helps farmers increase productivity and reduce operational costs. Quality costs. With our traceability system, we will help farmers produce better quality crops with a higher value. Political. We can help the Queensland and Commonwealth government achieve goals aligned to the national waste policy and the food waste strategy. This applies to investors as well, as Xiang Ventures can battle the public perception of being a polluter in the oil industry. Resilience. Our smart solution will help farmers improve their capability of bouncing back in the event of natural disasters. For example, diversifying crop types to reduce overall risks from pest, disease, and climate change. Environmental sustainability. We will help farmers make a positive contribution to the environment. Reducing food waste at the root level means totally avoiding unnecessary production instead of trying to manage the waste after it's produced. Wider market. Once we go international, our smart solution will help the world achieve 19 targets from the 7 UN Sustainable Development Goals. In a nutshell, our smart solution will reduce food waste, optimize farming operations, saving costs, and minimizing the carbon footprint of the industry.
Building on the POC and pilot phases, Smart Harvest is now ready for the official launch. We split this commercialization phase into 3 horizons. In Horizon 1, we will partner with selected retailers to first tap into their network of contract farmers across Australia. There are about 11,500 horticultural businesses in Australia, with a market value of 14.4 billion Australian dollars. We estimated that 50 farms will be using our app by the end of Horizon 1. allowing us to break even in the first year of commercialization. And Horizon 2 will reach out to the other growers that supply the wholesale markets. This is achieved by collaboration with the Central Market Association of Australia, or CMAA. In our pilot phase, we have tested with 4 major farms in the states of Queensland, Tasmania, Victoria, and New South Wales. That gives us credibility to reach out to the other farms in those states. By the end of Horizon 2, we will have reached 400 farms, or 3.5% of the market share. However, the Oceania market is tiny, an annual production of less than 10 million tons. That is less than 1% of the global market. Horizon 3 onwards, we will expand further overseas, starting from California in the USA, then Europe, Asia, Africa, and finally South America. Throughout this whole commercialization phase, we will be dealing with different customer segments. The biggest group will be the farmers and producers, followed by retailers and wholesalers. There will be other segments such as the agriculture input suppliers and logistic providers, the research institutions, and various governments. Each will have their respective pains to be addressed. And Smart Harvest is able to meet those needs with our value proposition of a simple, strategic, and sustainable solution. Now that sounds like a really big plan. So how are we going to navigate through all these challenges? Allow me to show you our ACE resource card in this deck, this team. Now, between the 9 of us, professionally trained in all disciplines of the sciences, engineering and IT, business, and arts from 11 different universities. Same topics, different perspective, so fewer blind spots and less risk. We have an MBA, a certified public accountant or CPA, a PhD, and a combined 39 years of working experience. We come from 8 different countries and speak 13 languages, giving us an understanding of cultural sensitivities when assessing those nations for expansion. And the networks and mentors that we have in industry, government, academia, I am blown away myself. So in less than 3 months since we first met, we conducted farmers visits, interviewed with industry body reps, and presented our case to an assistant minister, and even already in discussion with our proof of concept target customer. So you are in very good hands in investing in this team, and we'll be even more excited if you would consider coaching and nurturing this team. But first, now to address the risk.
Risk assessment is not just for investors, but for ourselves as well, because our time and future are also at stake. First, a large volume of good quality data is crucial for Smart Harvest success. We address this by diversifying our source of data using both historical and real-time data, images and sensor data, information from the agriculture suppliers, research data from the government. Using machine learning and AI, we can cross-check for data accuracy, operational risk. Next challenge is technological glitch leading to poor forecasting. We will test our code using professional services and partnering with MIT to be able to adopt the most advanced forecasting algorithm to calculate the predictions. We will also have backup running all the time to make sure there is no downtime in our system. Integration and adoption barrier risk. Farmers are risk-averse people and might be reluctant to try new technology. We counter this by making our app very simple and intuitive and target innovative farmers as early customers. We then provide free trial for at least 1 crop cycle. And when farmers see how this benefits other farmers, they will start using our system. Funding risk. Startup mentor tell us, never run out of cash. Smart Harvest reduce operating costs by lean management and relying on expertise from our university by strategically targeting governments and industry grants that will allow us to progress through the POC and pilot phase. With an easy scalable model, we will quickly generate revenues and break even in 1 year of commercialization. Disaster risk include extreme weather events, social crises such as COVID-19. Before expanding to our new market, always build a connection with local organizations to obtain weather data for pilot testing and seek an understanding of how the market dynamics. As for social crisis, let's actually work toward our benefit, as no matter what happens, people need to eat. And in time like this, people will only opt for healthier diets, meaning more fruit and vegetable, which is exactly our target market. Policy risk. Finally, evolving regulatory policy, especially on cybersecurity and data protection, is our last challenge. We have contests working on security, and by keeping closely in touch with the government sector, we will be able to stay informed and ensure compliance. So overall, we have identified all possible risks, developed strategies to ensure the risks are mitigated, and can be confident that it's safe for both investor and ourselves to proceed.
All right, now let's move to the most exciting part. This is about how Smart Harvest can make the money work hard in this investment. With the 250K equity investment, Xiang Ventures will be a corporate shareholder with 31% shareholding. Let's talk about the key financial assumptions of our cash flow projection. First of all, we projected a 5% growth rate share, which provides us a healthy and solid potential customer base that will solid in. Second, we assume the WACC at 3% due to economic downturn due as a result of the COVID. Last, the time frame is based on three horizons, which are proof of concept, pilot, and commercialization. The net cash flow of the first 2 years here is 0. It represents our POC and pilot phases. As we are receiving funding, we are not being charging our farmers. The next 3 years represent the commercialization phase. Our project shows an attractive IRR of 97%, NPV of 500K, and ROI of 223%. With our smart solution, we'll be able to break even in the 4th quarter of the year 2023. We propose a dividend policy of 20% of the net income. Based on projection, we'll be able to distribute dividends to our equity holder in 2024, where net income will be positive. To ensure the robustness of projection and the financial sustainability of our project, we have extended our cash flow projection to extra 2 years to year 2027 and conducted a sensitivity analysis based on our recurring revenue streams. 1, the number of farms using our app. 2, the number of subscribers of our data report, all else being equal. Now let's look at the changes in the number of farms. An increase or decrease of 20% in the number of farms shows a significant impact on our financials. In addition to this, we also have run several scenarios to understand our downside and the upside potentials. When the number of farmers decreases by 26%, our IRR will drop to 0. And only negative value of 29K, ROI of 76%. This is a downside risk that we would need to mitigate. When the number of farms increases by 100%, our IRR will soar to more than 600%, ROI of almost 1,000%, and NPV of 15 million. This shows an enormous upside of solution. Now, let's have a look at the impact of number of subscribers. An increase or decrease of 20% in the number of subscribers shows much less impact on our financials. As we can see, the 3 lines are very close to each other. The slide shows a summary of sensitivity analysis. To mitigate our downside risk, let's focus on the changes in the number of farms, which is the biggest driver in our revenue stream. We will keep a close relationship with our farmers to ensure happy customers and thus better customer retention. We will also actively explore new customers, such as seeking partnership with retailers who have already contracts with a range of farmers, expanding our coverage to new regions according to our strategy and expansion plan, so on and so forth. In a nutshell, the increase or decrease in the number of farms has a significant impact in our revenue. Now, after listening to our financing strategy, I'm sure this has significantly improved your confidence in our business.
So back to Jack, our farmer. He now has a simple app that gives him strategic information about his farm and the market. And he can relax knowing that his decisions are sustainable. We will send out the impression of investment interest soon. Hope to see your name on it. But first, any questions? Thank you.